Once there was a poor fisherman. He tried every day to catch fish, but most days, he caught nothing. Some days, he couldn't even bring home a single fish. His wife and 3 children were hungry, because they only ate fish. The small ones he did catch weren't enough. One day, he threw his net and caught something heavy. But when he pulled it out, it was a dead horse. He sighed angrily, "Today is a bad day." Still, he didn't give up. He threw the net again and caught a bag full of old, broken cups. His heart sank. With sadness, he tossed them back into the sea. "What can I do?" he whispered. "I am a poor man. I just want to sell fish. Buy food for my children." He tried once more. This time, he pulled out an old jar. At first, it looked green, but it was just dirty. He washed it in the sea, and to his shock, it was made of gold. There were some strange words written on the lid, but he couldn't read them. He smiled brightly and said, "I can sell this. Today is finally a good day." As he held the jar, he became curious. Maybe something is inside, he thought. Slowly, he opened the jar. Suddenly, white smoke poured out, swirling and rising into the sky. A giant appeared from the smoke. The fisherman fell back in fear. The giant looked at him and said in a deep voice, "Fisherman, I am going to kill you." "Why?" cried the fisherman. "What did I do?" "You opened the jar. That's why. Now, you must die. Do you want me to crush you with my hands? Or throw you into the sea? But why do you want to kill me?" The fisherman asked, shaking. The giant began to tell his story. "A long time ago, I made the king of the giants angry. I took his youngest and most beautiful daughter for a walk by the sea. He got furious. So he trapped me in this jar and wrote his name on the top. I couldn't escape. I remember his words, 'You love the sea, so now you will live in it.' Then he threw the jar into the water. For the first 100 years, I promised, if someone frees me, I will make them a great king or queen. But no one came. After 200 years, I said, I will make them rich, but not royal. Still no one opened it. After 300 years, I became angry. I decided, the person who opens this jar will die. And now, that person is you." The fisherman took a deep breath and said, "I have one question. Will you answer it?" "Yes," the giant said. "Ask quickly. Were you really inside this jar?" "Yes, you saw me come out of it," said the giant, "but you are huge. This jar is small. Your hand is bigger than the jar. How can your whole body fit inside?" The fisherman tilted his head. "Does your brain even work?" The giant became angry. "I'll show you," he shouted. Then, with a loud whoosh, he turned into white smoke again and went back inside the jar. As soon as the last bit of smoke entered, the fisherman quickly shut the lid. "Ha! Got you!" he shouted. "Now I'll throw you back into the sea. Maybe someone else will find you in another 300 years. Please, open the jar," begged the giant from inside. "I will make you rich. Very, very rich." "No, you'll kill me," said the fisherman. "No, I won't. I promise," said the giant. "I will not harm you. I will reward you." The fisherman thought for a moment. Then he said, "All right." Slowly, he opened the jar. The white smoke rose again and the giant appeared. But this time, the giant smiled. "Thank you," he said. "Come with me." The fisherman followed him around the city, over a mountain, and finally to a beautiful blue and gold sea. The water sparkled, and many colorful fish swam inside. "Now throw your net," said the giant. The fisherman did, and in moments, he pulled out 3 beautiful fish, one red, one white and one gold. "Take these fish to your king," said the giant. "He will give you a lot of gold." Then the giant disappeared into blue and gold smoke. The fisherman went to the king. When the king saw the fish, his eyes widened. "They are so beautiful. I will pay you well," he said. He gave the fisherman a bag full of gold and told his servant, "Take these fish to the cook. We will eat them today." The fisherman ran home with the gold. That night, for the first time ever, his family didn't eat fish, they ate bread, meat, fruit, and vegetables. They were happy and full. In the palace, the cook placed the fish over the fire. But as they began to cook, blue and gold smoke rose from the flames. Suddenly, a strange woman appeared in the kitchen. She looked at the fish and said, "Fish, fish. Are you doing your work?" The fish raised their heads and answered, "We are. And we are happy." The woman then pushed them deeper into the fire. The smoke turned blue and gold again, and she vanished into it. Moments later, the king walked into the kitchen. "Where are the fish?" he asked. The cook looked at the burnt fish and told the king about the strange woman who had appeared from the smoke. The king listened in silence, his eyes filled with wonder. The king was curious. He wanted to know more about the strange fish, so he called the fisherman again. "Bring me 3 more fish," he ordered. The fisherman returned with 3 shining fish. The king rewarded him with more gold. The cook placed the fish over the fire. Suddenly, the smoke turned red and gold. And from it came a tall man with flaming red hair. "Fish, fish, are you doing your work?" the man asked in a booming voice. The fish replied, we are, and we are happy." Then, just like before, the man pushed the fish into the fire and vanished into the colorful smoke. The king stood silent. This was no trick, this was real magic. He turned to the fisherman. "Where do you find these fish?" "I catch them from a blue and gold sea beyond the mountain," the fisherman replied. The king asked his servant, "Have you ever seen this sea?" "No, my king," the servant said. "I often cross that mountain, but there is no such sea." The king then said to the fisherman, "Take us there." They followed him over the mountain, and to their amazement, there it was, a sea of sparkling blue and gold. The fish swam like living jewels. "Wait here," the king said. He took 2 guards and walked around the sea until they found a great house made of red stone. The garden was full of beautiful flowers. They knocked, but no one answered. The door was open, so they stepped inside. The rooms were beautiful but empty. Then the king entered a grand hall with tall windows. A voice cried out, "When will I die? I don't want to live." At the far end of the hall, a young man sat on the floor. A coat covered his legs. "I know you are a king," he said, "but I cannot stand." The king lifted the coat and was shocked to see that the young man's feet were white stone. "What is this?" the king cried. "Why do you have stone feet? Why do the fish talk? Who is the red-haired man that appears from the fire?" "I will tell you," the young man said. "Please listen. There was once a great city here. My father was the king, and I was his only son. When he died, I became king. I married a beautiful woman, but she did not love me. She loved one of the servants. When I found out, I tried to kill the servant. We fought, and I wounded him, but I didn't kill him. He lost the use of his legs. My wife was furious. She knew magic. She turned my feet to white stone. I could no longer walk, but she didn't stop there. She destroyed the city. In its place appeared 3 mountains and this blue and gold sea. She turned all the people into fish. The servant lives in a small white house in the garden. He cannot walk. My wife visits him every day. The king walked into the garden, deep in thought. Then he quietly entered the white stone house. The servant was there, helpless. The king killed him and hid the body under the bed. He put on the servant's jacket and lay down, covering his face. Soon, the queen entered. "Are you happy, my dearest servant?" she asked. "No," said the king in a disguised voice. "I cannot sleep. Someone is crying." "The young king is crying because of his stone feet," she said. She left and went to the young man. She sprinkled magic water over his feet, and he stood up and walked again. Then she came back to the white stone house. "Can you sleep now?" she asked. "No," said the king. "The people of the city cry at night. They do not want to be fish." The queen went to the blue and gold sea. She spoke magic words, and suddenly the great city rose from the water. Men and women ran joyfully through the streets. The queen returned again. "Are you happy now, my dear servant?" "Yes, my love," said the king. "Come closer." She stepped closer to the bed. "Closer still," he said, "I want to hold you." As she leaned over, the king grabbed her and stabbed her with a knife. She died instantly. He returned to the young king. "Your queen is dead," he said. "Your people are free." The two kings became close friends. Their cities helped each other, and peace returned. No one ever ate fish again. The fisherman and his family were rewarded with gold and beautiful gifts. They were never poor or hungry again.